Mi persona es Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Él es de Colombia. Marquez es muy famoso en el mundo. Él ganó muchos premios de lectura. Sacó el premio Nobel. Escribió muchos libros que son muy populares como Cien años de soledad. In Marquez's early years, he didn't have the easiest life. He lived with his maternal grandparents until he was 8. He claimed to not even have known his mom until he was 7 years old. His family decided to move when he was 8 due to his grandfather's passing. They decided to move to a river in Barranquilla, Colombia. He did see his parents occasionally after this. Their names were Gabriel Aligo Garcia and Luisa Santiago Marquez. But he wouldn't really have a strong relationship with them. There he would live his childhood. Marquez was sent to a boarding school, and there is where he became a studious student. When he was 14, he earned a scholarship to Jesuit Liceo Nacional Secondary School. He loved to draw comics, but he was never really into athletics. While in school, he studied in law, but later fell out of that and studied to become a journalist. While he lived in Barranquilla, he would write daily columns for the El Heraldo. He then finally found his passion of being a novelist. After graduating college in 1946, he worked on his novels and journals. He fell in love with a girl named Mercedes Barcha. They waited a little before they finally got married in 1958. A year later, they would have a son named Rodrigo Garcia. And in 1964, they would have another son named Gonzalo Garcia Barcha. Marquez went back to writing after this. Marquez wrote his first book in 1967 called 100 Years of Solitude. It became a famous book all around the world, but he did not stop there. He wrote more than 25 books in his lifetime. His most famous book, named Love in the Time of Cholera, was inspired by the love story of his own parents. Critics labeled it as a sentimental story about enduring power of true love. Marquez was a heavy smoker in his time. Up until he was 50, he would smoke 60 cigarettes a day. Later, Marquez was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer in 1999. His cancer went into remission, and his brush with death prompted him to write his memoirs. He lived several more years before dying in Mexico City on April 17, 2014. His wife died only 8 months after his death.